Okay, welcome to class. My name's Joel. This webcam on this computer is a little weird because it's at the bottom, so it looks like I'm looking up, but really I'm looking forward. Anyway, is what it is. Welcome to the class. I'm your instructor, and I just wanted to guide you through a few things, first being the syllabus and then the Canvas course. By now, most of you should be in Canvas, and if not, you're probably not watching this video or you're watching it after you emailed me with any problems. Thus far, I've only gotten one email on problems, so I'm not going to spend too much time on logging in, but I do want to show you the structure of the class and what my expectations are for and whatnot. So first, let me share my screen. So let's see. So we're going to go through here, and let's go to this. So this is where I was scheduling it. So first off, you're on the home page, and this is the home page I want you to use. So whenever you get in Canvas, sometimes depending on your settings, for a lot of you, it's going to show kind of a list of things that are due. Don't pay attention to that. Just click on the home button, go right to the course. If you're taking more than one class from me, you can go to courses, click on it. It'll show all of the courses you're in, and you can switch between courses here. We're going to get out of that. So, and this is the same for my micro macro course. The structure of the first 3 weeks of class is similar for both courses, although the emphasis is different for examination purpose for you guys as students. So if we go down here, we can click on the spring syllabus, and I mean for this page, you can scroll down. What I mean for you to do is kind of start at the top and go to the bottom. And you know, over time, maybe it'll get more intuitive to you, but it's the easiest way to do things for now. You can open the PDF by downloading, or you can just scroll through. I'm going to go ahead and download a copy of that PDF, mainly because then we can look at it kind of big and fill in the whole page. So we've got our important information, my cell phone number. This is my office. You can stop by anytime. There is an admin that's in the office. If I'm not here, she'll nicely help you out. But for the most part, try to come by during office hours or give me a call and set up something or an email. And if you want, I can also engage during office hours or during an appointment with the video office hour using I use Google Hangouts, but we can also schedule a conference, and I'll show you how that works inside the website. This is the textbook for the course. If you looked around online, you could find it cheap. I am using the current edition, but the prior edition is fairly similar. There are some changes, but if you compare the table of contents online between the two, you should be fine. I highly recommend having a simple calculator. You could use calculator on your computer if you wanted. Having some colored pens and graphing paper could be helpful, especially for those of you in the micro class. Using different colors when you're graphing things helps keep things straight. And then a quality daily news source is also nice as well, just because it's helpful to be able to apply the economic concepts we're learning to what's happening in the real world. I also recommend Micro or Macroeconomics as a Second Language by Martha Olney. It's a really good book if you, and it's not that expensive. It's kind of like the Cliff Notes. It's very short and there's not a lot of examples, but it gives you the meat of what you need for economics in my approach, which is a little different. In the past, if people want, I'm available to meet up for small study groups here in town. I've also gone to Tracy, although I don't like to do that because it's kind of far, 30 miles away. But if need be, I can. Here's some important dates. Just keep those in mind. And if you're in the class, you already have the prerequisites. That's not a big deal. I'll let you guys read the course description, and your rights and responsibilities can be found in the handbook. Time expectations, this is the condensed course. It's 10.5 week long. I forgot to edit this, things changed. Used to be a 12-week course, but now it's 10.5. Hopefully it'll go back 12. That's pretty quick. Normally we have 16-week semesters, so you're getting about all of the material in 2/3 of the time. If you were on campus, this class would be made for about 2 hours a day for 2 to 3 days a week. So keep that in mind, and there's a lot of effort in taking an online class. You guys have to put in sometimes more effort, sometimes less effort. Really just depends on you. In the course, we're going to use Canvas LMS, which is where we were before, and all of you should be logged on. I also have another little e-textbook on there. What I found with people who use Apple products, Macs and MacBooks and whatnot, is that it's better to use the Chrome browser for some of the things. The course also does use Adobe Flash as well. So once again, the Chrome browser is kind of a little better for rendering those Flash animations. On an iPad, Flash doesn't show up. So at least it normally doesn't. So you might want to use an actual computer for those sections. If you've got problems, just contact me. I can help you with a little bit with tech support. There's also tech support available through Canvas as well. You can reach me via email, or you can reach me via the course system, and I'll show you how to do that. You can, if you email me through your Delta email, please include economics 001A or B, depending which class you're in, OL for online, spring of 2017. That way, if I'm searching to see, you know, I get a couple hundred emails a day some days, I can find you and make sure I've hit everyone. I also like to use Piazza, and I'll show you how that works in a second. Anyway, if there's anything that's going to stop you from being successful in the class, not just a disability, but if you've got any hardships that are going to prevent your success, just let me know as soon as possible. We can work on things, stretching deadlines, stuff like that, help you out, make sure that you're successful in class. If you do need support services, we have some online tutoring available, maybe. I'm not positive. They're supposed to be getting that up and running. We also have resources through the library. We have, and that's where you find tutoring. We have a writing lab and reading lab on campus. For those of you who are a little more remote, once again, creates some difficulties. The course requirements, in general, I don't have to enforce this, but what I want to stop from happening is people not doing anything. So you have to do all of these things. Even if you fail one, I normally let you through, but this is my catch-all in case someone's just a real a-hole or something like that. We're going to have 2 to 3 exams and 1 final exam in each class. The exams will be a combination of different types of things. Currently, I've got a lot of students between my 2 online classes, so it's more likely they're going to be multiple choice and true false and simple fill in the blanks. We probably won't have the time for essays. There will be problems, but the problems, I'm going to give you a problem and then say, you know, calculate this or do this graph and then tell me what the shift is. And I'll use multiple choice or true false to have you tell me your answers to the problem, or fill in the blanks, tell me the answers to the problems. As I said, right now I'm sitting at 200 students between both the online classes, so it's going to make it difficult to have essay exams. For some of you, that will be a hardship. For many of you, that will be something you'll be happy with. If you let me know ahead of time, I can extend due dates and periods. Just don't want people falling too far behind in the class. I do pace the class, and I don't release material early as a generality, and I don't like to make too many extensions, especially for things that I actually have to go in and grade. It takes me long enough to grade 200 people's assignments, let alone 200 people's assignments that are submitted various times whenever they feel like it. We're going to have 3 reader assignments. The reader assignments are pretty straightforward. You're going to read a newspaper article, or you're going to do a short activity and upload what you have. So we'll look at one of those. We'll look at the first one. And then we'll also have, it says 7 times. It'll be 5 to 7 journals. I'll adjust the weighting on each one depending how many we get to. The journals, as long as they're appropriate and they're well written, they're pass-fail. So I'm not looking for something in particular. What I'm really looking for is a thoughtful, you to read the prompt and then thoughtfully respond to it. You should expect to spend about 3/4 of a page to a page or more written, typed. If you've only got a paragraph or less there, it's probably not enough, and I'm going to fail you on the journal assignment. I don't tend to give extra credit, but if you've done everything in the course and you're still lacking, I might be inclined to do it. If you're interested in that, send me an email or give me a phone call. I will modify the timeline for the course depending how people are doing. You guys might say, well, it's online. How do you know how we're doing? Well, I tend to look online and see how everyone's doing in the course. If I see a lot of people are struggling with a particular assignment and we're not making headway on problem sets or things like that, then we'll extend that out and we'll change the exam due dates or whatnot. And normally what I'll do is I'll send an email letting you know when that happens. This is a tentative outline for the course. This tells you everything that you're going to need to do through this semester. There is a lot of reading. I expect the reading to be done. There's also extra reading from a book that I like that I think was helpful for you guys. And then here's the journals. Those journals will also be online, and I'll show you what that looks like in a second. Anytime there's links here, you can click on them from here, but also I tend to go through and try to find the link and make sure it's fresh on the website as well. So that's the syllabus in a nutshell, and if you have any questions, feel free to let me know via the course website. So if we go back to the home screen, let me briefly describe what's happening here. First off, you have an inbox. If you click on the inbox, oh, I can't do it in student view, but if you click on the inbox, that's how you can email me. I won't tend to email you through the inbox, but if you email me, I'll reply through it, and then you'll find your response there. The account, you can update your account and put a picture and put a description, make sure your name's correctly spelled. The dashboard gives you information about the various things that are happening in the class. Calendar gives you a calendar display of what's happening. Now, what I want you to notice, it'll give you for all of your classes, is that if you go back in time to when I taught this class in the fall, you'll see that there's due dates. You're not responsible for these things, but what you can anticipate is that towards the end of the semester, you're going to see the due dates on these items change to when they're due this semester. So if you want an idea of what's going to be due in the class, you can use the calendar to kind of go back and see, okay, I've got these assignments that were due. Also notice is that, let's go forward, we went too far. So what we'll notice is that in this course, the due dates that happen, so everything's already been done, but all the due dates fall at 10 p.m. on the same day. Now, I tend to make the due dates 3 weeks after the prior exam or 4 weeks after the prior exam on a Monday night. I do not expect you to wait until that day to do all of them. If you do that, you're going to be very heavily stressed. What I anticipate is you have 3 weeks to 4 weeks to get all of this work done. And then once you're done, it's submitted before that time period. So we'll fast forward to today. Okay, so if we go to this month, March, what you'll notice is class started today, and this time I made things due at different times, and that's because these first few weeks I want to help you with your pacing. But in the future, what's going to happen is if we go forward to the month of April, you'll see that there is a bunch of things due here, and normally those will be due on the day the exam's due, or they'll be due the Thursday before. I haven't really decided. One of the things I'm trying to move away from is I don't want people who are procrastinators, if I have everything due and the exam due on the same day, I don't want you not studying for the exam and doing poorly in the exam because you're still submitting everything late that you didn't do. You should have been done with all of these things before you take the exam. But what I've been finding is when I make all of this due on Monday when the exam's due, and then do the homework, and that's really ass backwards and it's stupid and you shouldn't be doing that. But unfortunately, people are humans and people do things that are silly all of the time. So it is what it is, we'll live with it. So we'll go back to the course, about what's due. Don't stress about things that don't have due dates. I tend not to assign those. Those are just there in case I pull in some of the resources into the course. But you will be able to see a list of things sometimes coming up. Well, not coming up, but you'll be able to see a list of things at some places. And I've already had an email from a student, what about all these assignments that, from the past? Well, don't worry about those, okay? Just know that they are going to come, and they're going to come in blocks and be due all in one fell swoop. So if you start here, you can read the introduction, just gives you kind of the layout of the course, which is what I'm doing here, because what I found is some people don't watch the video. And also there's something nice to read because I didn't get the video done before the course semester started. And I tend not to because I want to see what types of startup issues there are and whether I need to address them in the first video. If you need help, you can use this discussion forum, but I tend to say use Piazza. And if we go down, so you can look at announcements, and announcements show up. Well, I don't have it set up, but historically announcements will show up over here. I guess I need to enable that, but or not. But if you hit on announcements, you can see the announcement. This would have been emailed to you if you'd logged into the course by Monday morning. If not, it's just a short little announcement, and you can find all the past announcements here, even if they're not on your homepage. But I will enable that to put them on the homepage, so you can look over here and see the last 2 or 3 announcements is what should be happening. Piazza. So what's going to happen, you'll see Piazza when you log in. Let's see. I'll log you in on my side. And this is what you'll see. And so you can post something, you can look at these posts from people. So far, 17 of you have self-enrolled. When you click on it, it'll ask you to create a password. You'll create a password, you'll have an account. It's free. And if you have any questions, you'll see what other people are asking, you'll see what I'm answering. Every class uses this resource different. Some classes, no one uses it at all. Other classes, people use it all the time. I can't anticipate what's going to happen. If you want to see your grades, you can come here and you'll see your grades for assignments. This is where it can get scary because you've got all these things with points. I just want to let you know all of this stuff down here, chapter 2 test questions, chapter whatever, none of these are going to be in the course. They're just there because I put them there. But they're dummy. You're not going to have that many tests. Those are just question banks that I'm using and I imported in class. Because of the way Canvas works, they end up showing up, and someday I'll figure out how to get them not to show up, but I haven't done that yet, so it is what it is. Conferences, so what you can rest assured is that everything with a due date will eventually have a due date that's going to be due during this semester, and you will have to do that. As you enter in things, if there's a dash and you've already done it, then I haven't graded it. If there's a dash and you haven't done it, then you need to do it. So this is a test student, I haven't done anything, is what it is. But what you can see is these are the things in the past, and it'll tend to get organized by due dates. So as these due dates flip forward in time and you guys have them due, they'll move to the bottom. Conferences, as I said, I can hold an online office hour. I can't do it in apparently in Student View, but if you want, we can do an online office hour from here if you don't have access to Google Hangouts. As I said, I prefer Google Hangouts, but if not, it's not there. The water cooler, you can use Piazza as well. One semester I had someone ask for a recipe for something just as a joke, so I actually gave them my favorite recipe because I'm silly and stupid like that. But it was a lot of fun, and that's what we did. Introductions, this is the first assignment. You have to come in and do an introduction. You can read my introduction. You then press reply to do your introduction. You can also read what other people have written. You can go in and reply to them if you want. I'm not going to require it on the introduction. Really not going to require it at all. But you know, it gives you a chance to get a feel for who's in the class. And it's nice to see that a lot of you have been putting in your introductions. I'll probably sit down tonight and try to read for quite a while. But with 200 students, I'm not going to take the time to reply to all of you. But it does give me an idea of who you are as a student and helps me out. It is graded. It's due tomorrow night, or it's due tonight at 10 p.m. Letting me know that you're in the course, that you know how to post things. This is something that most of you won't find useful, mainly because, you know, well, some of you might, I don't know. So what I did is one semester I went through, and I'm going to try to update with some new things because I have some stuff I didn't link to yet. But what you can do is you click on the pick, and of course it's giving me my view because I'm the author. Let's see. So click here. So this gives me all the things. I don't use PowerPoints when I teach a class. I teach a class on a whiteboard. So you can see the whiteboard that I drew that day for class. And in this class, I only had one. And then you can go and you can actually listen to the audio for that class period and see what I covered. And, you know, is what it is. So we can use the music player for this. And you can just select apps, or you can download it and, you know, do it. So I'm not going to tell you the sound quality is all that great or anything like that. I'm not going to tell you there weren't technical problems, because there were. You'll notice on that list that there's no audio. There was an equipment malfunction that day. Trying to give you an idea of what we cover in class. And as I said, you know, we get down here, I need to actually start putting some of the pictures from those days in. What I find interesting, though, is that I've had this up for a while now, and I haven't had anyone actually say, hey, where's the missing pictures on this? I have a feeling the only feedback I've gotten from students who have tried to use it is it's a little cumbersome to use, so I am looking for something better. But, you know, it is what it is. And you know, and I'm going to try to actually go through and put up a video every week for you guys, so that you can see what we're talking about for the week and give you kind of a short little preliminary thing. So here's the handouts and readings. This tells you your textbook reading, chapters 1, 2, 3, and 17. And then you have kitchen table economics and investing. You need to do the intro in chapter 1, and that's a link to the PDF. These are a file with textbook study materials. So what you can see is there's a study guide for chapter 1, 2, 3, 17. If you open that up, there's information on what was covered in the chapter and then some dummy questions. There's also a chapter 1 self-study test, chapter 2 self-study test. You can use those self-study tests to see whether you're getting the material and how you're doing. So if you click on that, it'll take you to a quiz, and I'll apparently have to make that available for you guys to do. So this is something new I'm doing this semester. This is a new textbook, so you know, it's a learning process for me. So it's nice to check on that, see that you guys can't do it yet. So I'll enable that after the video. You guys will be able to go on and do it. Okay, so linking forward, blah, blah, blah. What do we have? A to Z of economics. This is an alternative website. What I would recommend is opening another browser. Even if it opens it in a frame, what you really want to do is open a new browser. As I said, this isn't perfect. When I first started teaching online about 4 or 5 years ago, a lot of students didn't have much content. And so what I've done is tried to create content. And so I went out and bought an online textbook, and I used that online textbook, and I've modified it a little bit every semester to try to make it more my own. It's not perfect, but it's free, and what more do you want? I do want to point out that this is a little glitchy. If you do this full glossary, I had someone like, how many of these do I have to read? Well, you actually don't need to read any of them. I didn't want to actually do that. What you want to do is, if it doesn't open in your browser, it's because, like me, you don't keep Flash enabled all the time. So you want to a window where Flash is going to work, or authorize Flash on your system. So you don't have to go through and read these. This is just every term possibly used in economics, not just micro or macro, in economics. So there's a lot of terms. So you can start here. I said this is glitchy. So you go back, abnormal profits, introduction. So if you've got a term that's an economic term and you don't know what it means, you can go to this at any point in the semester and look it up. But you can see, as I said, it gets a little glitchy at times. And, you know, I'm sorry. And that's because it's going forward and somehow highlighting both of them. Maybe I'm pressing it too quick. Okay, if it's got a scroll down, you scroll down and see what's happening. But see, when you start pressing quick, I don't know. It is what it is. It's free. So what more can I say? But you don't have to read all of those. I don't expect you to. What I do expect is you go to this fundamental economic concepts and you can hit this and it takes you through and it gives you information. Make sure to scroll down, make sure you've got all the info. And basically it's another textbook option for you in the course. Definitely recommend it. I wouldn't put it up here if I didn't recommend it. So it is what it is. And apparently, you know, we're waiting on the slow network sometimes. Okay. So it also does these things in the world economy today. There's increasingly dominated by large multinational corporations. The entrepreneur of conventional economic theory is becoming increasingly difficult to identify. Why do you think this is? You can make up your answer in your mind and then you can answer and it'll give you kind of a response. If we come down here, this is helpful when you're trying to figure out how to do things. You can actually plot a production function, which is something you're going to be required to know how to do. See, and when you get all the points, it'll connect the dots. Then you can do a new one. And that'll give you another one. Then you can check your answer, see if it's correct. It's not going to grade anything. It's just going to tell you how you're doing in the, with the material. So doing these is helpful preparation for the exams and for the assignments and the homework before you've done it. I do recommend click on the famous economists, go down, open in another window, because in the course I'll reference these economists. I'll expect you to understand and know who they are. Okay. So if we go forward, Adam Smith, Malthus, Say, Ricardo. Okay. I'll also expect you to know the various branches of economics as well. So almost all of the tranches will have a link to this book. There's only one tranche that does not, just letting you know. So we can go back. You can also go forward to the next item. And that'll be replaced. This is the video that I did last spring. This will be replaced with this video as soon as I get it uploaded to the internet. This is videos I've chosen to link to in the class. It's from Marginal Revolution University. They're free videos. It's a group of faculty members that I know. And they have very good production videos. Here you can take a quiz. And that's your first one. And those are due tomorrow, I believe. Yeah. And the first three are due tomorrow. Just tell you this introductory terms, people always bitch about it. It is what it is. Give it a try. If you get stuck on one of these assignments and you're not finishing it and not getting it right, you get to do them as many times as you want, but don't try an infinite number of times. Let me know that you're having a problem. I'll help you out with giving you the answers. Okay, so do your best. Here's an old production possibility instructor video I put up before you try these assignments. I'm going to try to create a new one for you guys this semester. As I said, technology is not always our friend. Trying to get better production quality on my videos has definitely been a goal of mine. When you see an assignment with this little like a timer, those are all quizzes. When you see something like this, it's an assignment, and when you see the little bubble, it's a discussion. When you have assignments like this, if you want to submit them, you're going to look down here to submit them and you're not going to find anything and you're going to email me. Go up here, press submit button. You can upload any of these file types. Take a picture, save it to your phone, and then upload it is the best way to answer these questions. Let's see, back to home. Before I get questions, when you open up these quizzes, sometimes I put a link to a PDF. My recommendation would be download the PDF. This is what I use in class. Fill it out and then take the quiz and answer the questions that you put down in the PDF. But you can do it how you want. You are not expected to upload that PDF and give it to me. It's just there so that you can see where the questions I'm asking came from in one cohesive response. Here's another video on comparative and absolute advantage from Marginal Revolution University. I'll try to put up another one myself. Then you've got the first reader assignment. And as you can see, it links through to 2 articles. You click on this link. You're going to download the PDF. You click on this link, download PDF. Sometimes it'll take it, hyperlink to it. Here's some questions to think about. You don't get to see others' replies until you have written yours. Once you've written yours, you can update your reply by replying to your reply. And so you can say, hey, after reading other people's responses, I think I might have been right or wrong, and here's why. So feel free to update your response as you need to. This is graded. Once these are done, you're actually going to be prompted to go in and grade 2 other people's responses, not for those, but for this and this. There are criteria, so you'll see that. And if you have a problem, let me know. Here's the first journal. You'll also submit this. Once again, up at the top, submit assignment. You can use the tech entry box, or you can upload files. The exam won't open until, isn't due till April 3rd, but if you click on it, it's not going to open until March 31st after everything's due, and it opens at 6 a.m. You'll have the whole weekend to do it. Sometimes I'll give you a week, sometimes I'll just give you from Friday to Monday or Tuesday. It just depends how I'm feeling. On this one, I'm giving you that time. Exams are the only assignments that can't be redone in the course. So exams, once you take them, you have a grade. Everything else, you can do it as many times as you want to get a better grade, up till the end of the semester within reason. I need to have time to grade things. So this is your course website in a nutshell. I do want to show you something. If you go to YouTube and you search Joel Butel, what you'll find is 28 videos, and I will be adding to these throughout the semester. And these videos, some of them might be helpful. So if you're in macroeconomics, look, GDP theoretic calculation, GDP deflator, and price indices. Tells you how to do this. For the first set, tells you how to solve the problem. Now, don't do it to get the grade. Try to figure out how to do it, because on the exam, you'll have to know how to do it. And then when you get stuck, you can come here and see me work through the example of how to do it. For my micro classes, you'll see me actually teaching some of my courses. I haven't tended to do that for macro for various reasons. The production quality isn't great. I couldn't afford to pay for someone to film it. So is what it is. But you'll see these. Some of these are opening office hours. You could match the office hour to what we're talking about in a particular week and kind of guess at whether the information, or just kind of flip through it. So these are here to help you. I also want to mention there are other economists who put things on film. So some that I've recommended in the past is Jody. Jody does Economists Do It With Models. You can look at her microeconomics course. She also has a macroeconomics course. But you can look through all of the videos, and she has a lot, and she has pretty good production quality. She, to be honest, is a little boring sometimes, but I actually like her. And she's a really nice lady, and I've supported her. But there's numerous people. You could also use Khan Academy for economics. Let's see. EMJ, I think. Nope, I'm not getting the right one. But if you find other economists that you like, you can link through to them. I really don't care whose videos you use as long as they help you. As I said, in the course, I've just chosen to use these guys from Marginal Revolution University. Anyway, that's a rundown of the course. And feel free to contact me with any problems. You send me an email or you put it on Piazza. I'm more than happy to create a video on the fly and let you know what's going to happen. Let me go back to my Hangout. Okay. And here. And we're going to stop sharing that. Okay, so I'm back. Sorry about that, guys. So I'm back. I just want to say welcome to the course. If you need a custom video, let me know. Sometimes I reference videos I've done in the past. I am very busy. I've got a lot of professional responsibilities on campus, but I am here for you guys. I'm here to help you out, make sure that you guys are successful. I want you guys to do well in the course and have a lot of fun at the same time and learn something. So if there's anything I can do to help, let me know. When you send me emails with specific problems, if I know I've already done it on my YouTube, I'll reference the YouTube video and I'll try to tell you where it is in the YouTube video you can find the information. If it's something I haven't done or something you're still confused on, ask for another video and I'll try to present the information in a different way. But you'll see my videos are a little silly because, you know, it's me, a whiteboard, and I hold it up and I draw. But, you know, it's worked for me so far, and so that's what we're going to keep doing. If there's any other comments or suggestions you have, feel free to contact me. Have a good first week and make sure you start getting those assignments in. I don't want you guys to fall too far behind. So talk to you later, and once again,